This is Adrian from Adrian's Avenue, and today is the big reveal day. I will tell you which vehicle I selected. I got it in, I picked it up a couple of days ago, and I am extremely happy and pleased with the car itself. I'm going to go through the three that I considered and kind of share some things, what I did and didn't like about those and why I did not select those. And then at the end, I will show you the one I chose. First and foremost, you know on Adrian's Avenue that we believe that your daily decisions determines your destiny, and we are here to help you make better decisions. Okay, the wait is over. Today is the big reveal day. A couple of weeks ago, I told you that I was buying an SUV. I had ordered it, waiting for it to come in, went over some stats with you as far as which vehicles I was looking at. Narrowed it down to three, asked you to vote in the comments which one you thought I was going to select. I got a lot of votes. I actually got some phone calls. I got some text messages on that, and people have been asking me, okay, when are you going to let us know? The vehicle came in, it is an SUV. It came in a few days ago, and I went and picked it up, and I'm super happy about it. So that's why the big smile on my face. But I wanted to go over the three that I seriously considered, and the reasons why I was either deterred from them or just decided that that's not what I need right now. But I did select one of the three. It was either going to be the Lexus, which you guys know I love the Toyota product. It was going to be the Porsche, which was newly introduced to me, but I really liked it. And then the Mercedes, which is another vehicle that was newly introduced, and I really liked it. Now, in the actual vehicle, I was looking for 5 things specific that I did not want to compromise on. As you can imagine, it is a luxury vehicle, and so since I was going to be paying pretty high dollar for it, I wanted to make sure I had at least these 5 things that I didn't want to compromise. So the first thing was the colors. I wanted the outside color to be something that I really liked, and the inside seat cover to be something that I really liked. And so the colors that I was leaning towards were either the silvers or the grays, and all 3 cars had silvers and grays in them, so no problem there. The second part is that I wanted the seats to be leather. I wanted real leather seat. I didn't want it to be some type of synthetic leather. I wanted the real cow on the seat. Breathable, I wanted the leather seats. That was number 2. And number 3, I wanted the panoramic roof. The roof that goes from the front seats all the way to the back seats, because I just heard great things about it. People love them. I've never had a panoramic roof before, and that was one thing that I wanted in the vehicle, is for it to have that panoramic roof. The next thing I wanted to have is a premium sound system. When I'm driving, I like to enjoy, on long trips, I like to enjoy music, or I like to enjoy people talking. And I wanted it to be clear. I wanted, especially if I put on some music that I really like, there's a few artists that I love to listen to. And when I put those on, I wanted it to be crisp, clear, and clean. And I wanted to enjoy the music from this vehicle. And last but not least, it had to be a hybrid. I wanted a vehicle that would have gas as well as electrical. I'm not totally sold on electric vehicles, and that's why I eliminated some of the other cars and SUVs that are out there that are totally electric. But I wanted it for me to have the option of either I want to drive on gas or I want to drive on electricity, because in going to some of these dealerships, if you drive a lot in the city, is when you can really get the value out of the electric car, because on some of these that are hybrid, going long distance, you're probably going to use gas. So since I drive a lot in the city, don't take too many long distance trips, which that will probably change with this vehicle. But since I drive in the city a lot, I wanted to be able to charge my car up or my vehicle up and run on the electrical part. Plus it's good for the environment also. And so those are a few things that I wanted in the vehicle before I selected it. One more thing about each of these SUVs, they were low enough for my mom in order for her to get up in the vehicle, and that was another thing that I was looking for. So they are the smaller SUVs. They're not the big huge SUVs that you can get in sometimes the American made cars, and some of these manufacturers will have the larger SUVs. I wanted one that was more accommodating to me. It's just me, and if I want to take my family along, it's enough room for everyone. So let's start with the first one. Let's start with the Porsche. what I did and did not like about it. The first thing that probably was a big thing that I had to think about was the price. This vehicle, starting out, just base price was $91,700 before you put anything on it that of luxury or anything extra. So if you just get a base one, which they probably don't make many base ones, you know, that's what it would start at. On the website, of course, you can go and update and put in what you want on the car and design it yourself. And so before you even go into the dealership, you can kind of have an estimate on how much the vehicle would cost with the things that you wanted on there. Okay. And so I did this, and the price I came up with that was going to be $106,980 is what I came up with. So this right here was the first thing that I needed to look at, because that was over budget. I was not spending over $100,000 on a vehicle just to get the things that I wanted in it. Before they added things such as destination, tax, title, and license, all of that is piled on top of this. So it's another amount out there that you have to look at before you actually purchase the vehicle when you're looking at the total purchase price. So that was one thing that was major to me. It's like, if I wanted this vehicle and really wanted the vehicle, I would need to wait and save up enough money to go ahead and buy it. So that was one thing that I was looking at. That was a major red flag for me. It was a major kind of deterrent. And I'm like, okay, do I really want this vehicle? And so we'll see if this is the vehicle that I selected. Another thing with the Porsche that I don't want to forget is that the electrical battery that it would run on, the hybrid one, got 27 miles out of the charge, and that's it. 27 miles is not a whole lot out of the charge, because with the 27 miles, I would not be able to go to my parents' house and back home. I would be able to go over there, but coming back, I would have to use the gas. And of course, we're talking about premium gases, and the gas price keeps going up and down. Right now, it's up in our city. So that was a concern for me too. So those things are some things that I wanted to think about before I made this major decision. Before I move to the last two, I do want you to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date on the latest information as it becomes available to you, and make a comment on if you think I made a good decision or not. I promise you my feelings won't be hurt either way, but make a comment, but hear me out with all my reasons before you make that comment. Now, let's move on to the Mercedes. Now, Mercedes this year, they have, well, last year they had electric cars and they had gas cars. This year in the SUV, they did introduce for 2024 their first hybrid. I don't know if it's their first hybrid, but anyway, they have a hybrid on the market. It's the only hybrid that they actually offer, and it's the GLE 450E, and that makes it a hybrid. So this car was one that I went and looked at on Sundays when they weren't there, looked at the sticker price, looked at everything, and then finally went in and talked to the salesperson about it. And it checked all of the boxes. The colors were great. The interior seats were leather, so that checked that box. It was low enough for my mom to get in. It had the panoramic roof on it, and so all of that was checked. Premium sound system, all of that was checked. The only thing that I also had an issue with this car was the price, because the starting price of this one was $69,000, and when you added everything onto it, it raised the price quite a bit. So it was going to be a decision of either take some of the stuff that I really wanted off the vehicle, or save enough money to purchase the vehicle that I really wanted when it came to this one. And another thing that I really liked about the Mercedes is that on the electrical charge, it gets you between 50 and 52 miles to the electrical charge. So you can go that far. This would take me to my parents' house and back home without having to use any gas at all, charge it up, and then I can do some more running around. So this was great when it came to that. As a matter of fact, I think the only vehicle that's beating it right now is one of the Range Rovers. I think they have maybe one that will go 57 miles per charge, and it's a hybrid also. So anyway, so this car was good on every aspect except for the price. I really didn't like the price on this one. And so yeah, do you think I chose the Mercedes? Okay, now for the last and final one that I considered, which you know is one of my favorites. It is the Lexus. It is the Lexus RX 350 H for hybrid. So they do have the RX 350H. I went out there, I made several trips to the Lexus dealership and looked at this vehicle. Actually, I went to 2 Lexus dealerships. I was doing this last year when it was a 2023, then the 2024s came in, and I was just so interested in the vehicle until I traveled to one. Didn't really like the dealership that was closer to me, so I went to a further dealership that's in a different town, but it's close enough to Austin where it's not that big of a deal. So it's about 30-40 minutes away. So I went to visit them and talk to them and see what they had to offer. Got a better feel for those folks out there. I think they treated me a little bit better out there, but this vehicle checked the boxes, pretty much every box. Last year, when they started changing the vehicle for this year, for 2024, there were some things that they would put in one level of car that they wouldn't put in the next level of car. And the top level, which was still within my price range, they had one thing that just crushed me. They had a great sound system in there. Mark Levinson is like the top of the line sound system in my opinion. And I've sat in the car, listened to the sound system. I've not driven the car, but I've started one up, made many trips to the dealership to look at the car because it had to grow on me how the car looked from the outside. The Porsche didn't have to grow on me. I liked the way it looked. The Mercedes didn't have to grow on me. I liked the way it looked. The Lexus had to kind of grow on me just a little bit, but I got over that. It's like, okay, they had a color, a silver color that I really liked. The seats in the premium model, which is the only model in 2024 that you could actually get the panoramic roof. That kind of broke my heart because I was going for a 2023 that you could get the panoramic roof, but they were hard to find. But I did my searches. I called San Antonio. I called Dallas. I called all over Houston. I called everybody looking for my car in a 2023. Could not find it. 2024 rolls along and they changed some things. Also in the 2024s and I think the 2023s, a lot of the insides was plastic, which kind of broke my heart too, because the wood look that you have in it, it turned out that it was plastic. And the only reason that I found this out is that I went to the used store and they were showing me older models of this same vehicle that didn't have the hybrid power in it and everything. And one of the comments the salesperson made at the used store is that, well, the new ones have a lot of plastic in them, but this is real wood. And you could tell the difference. You could touch it, you could knock on it, and you knew that it was real wood. The leather seats in the older ones were a lot better. The top of the top model had leather seats, but they had suede in the seats. That was a huge deal breaker for me. I tried to get over the suede seats. I just couldn't get over the suede seats. And I wanted really not the top of the line one, but I wanted the one below that. But because I couldn't get the panoramic roof in that was a deal breaker. So I had some problems and some issues with the Lexus. However, the Lexus price point was great. The Lexus started at $61,730 to start with. And once I packed on everything that I wanted on there, it came out to be about $69,000, which is well within the price range that I was wanting to spend on that. So with all of this, I took all this in consideration. You know, I'm the budget person. So I want you to let me know which one do you think I bought the Lexus? Okay, gang, here we go. You know that I am a Toyota fan, and that's what family I'm in currently. However, I am joining a new royal family, and this is who I went with right there. There you go. I decided on the Mercedes. So I did purchase the GLE 450E, a hybrid model. It checked most of the boxes. I just had to wait a couple of more months to save up the rest of the money that I wanted to purchase the vehicle that I wanted to buy. And so that's what I have. That's what's sitting in my garage right now. I'll show you some pictures of it. Here it is right here. Okay, it's a beautiful looking vehicle. I am getting used to it. It's a lot of new things that I have to learn about it. And that's another thing. It's you got to learn a lot of stuff about these new cars because they're all electrical. And, you know, I got out of it the other day and it says, excuse me, you forgot your phone. I'm like, OMG. So it helps you with things like that. It's got a lot of things on it that I didn't know. Well, I knew when I was picking it out, but when the salesperson was showing me these things, I was appreciative of him doing that. Now, the one thing that I love the vehicle that I got, don't get me wrong, and I'm a member of the new family now, the Mercedes family, and I'm proud to be a member of the Mercedes family. The experience with purchasing this vehicle was not the best. And let me just go over that slightly with you. And I want your opinion on one other thing. So when I talked to the sales guy, he said that I will let you know when your car starts to be built. I will give you a call so you'll kind of know about 4 weeks from there, it should be coming in. I didn't receive that phone call. And at the end of the week that he actually was that he called me, I was going to call him that Friday to ask him, okay, it's supposed to be coming in the next month. Have you guys started building it or what's going on with the vehicle? And he called me to tell me that the car was on the truck on its way in. Now, I like to plan things out. I like to have things together. If there were any reason that I needed to make a little more money before it came in, I needed to know this ahead of time. And so this was it's not necessarily shocking, but it was something that I'm thinking, he should have been a man of his word and called me to let me know when the build time was going to be. And even if it was coming in early, just tell me we're starting building it early and this is when you can expect it. So it came in and I was good with the money. So no problem there. I had to shift some money over to get the check actually to go and pay them. So that was one thing. And when I got there, I didn't feel like I got the royal treatment that I felt like I should have. And it may have been just a salesperson. I don't know. Maybe at another dealership, they treat people differently. And the one thing that I hate, but this happens all the time, when you pay cash for a car, they're going to ship you to the finance department because they're going to try to sell you on some other products that they have available. So of course, they have all these extra warranties and all these things that you can buy to extend, take care of any dents, take care of any dings, take care of any breakdowns, take care of all this stuff that they want you to buy. And I'm finding out that Mercedes, their prices on pretty much everything is 2 to 3 times as much as you would pay for something else, whether it's an oil change or whatever it is, it's high. Now, the one disappointing factor there was I asked my salesperson up front, because when I walked in, I was walking in with one check and nothing was going on my credit card and nothing was going to be written out as far as another check from me. So I asked him what the total was before I got there, got the check for the total because that's the way I roll. But prior to that, when we were having the conversation, I asked him about the other packages, or are there some things that I can do as far as the service maintenance, all this kind of stuff. And he just kind of mentioned it and kind of blew it off, such as, the finance guy would talk to you. Well, I'd let him know at that point that I probably won't be financing. I may just pay cash for it. So instead of addressing the issue when the customer, me, wanted to address the issue, he didn't. So when I got there, the check that I brought was the only money that they were going to get out of me that day. And they didn't get a speck more out of me than that. I felt bad for the finance guy because he was really trying to sell me on some things that were very expensive, you all. Like I said, Mercedes is very proud of their product and it was very expensive. Their little care package consisted of this cap, a mug, and another keychain, which when you're paying that much for a vehicle, I'm thinking you probably need to get a little more than just that, But that's what the care package consisted of. No one showed me to where the waiting room was. No one showed me to where you go to get your car serviced. He did give me a brief overview of the vehicle and some things that, of course, it was so much until I don't remember all of that. So I'll be reading the manuals on that. He did offer, if you have any questions, to give me a call, which of course, that may or may not happen, but he set me up with the app for Mercedes, which is pretty sweet. You get to know everything about your car, if it's charged up, if it's unlocked, if it's locked. This is all new to me because remember, my Toyota truck is a 2012, and so it's been a while since I purchased a vehicle. And so, but yeah, so my experience there, as far as that is concerned, was not the greatest. I expected much more. They had a little area where you could go and get food. I know at the Lexus dealership, they roll the carpet out for you. They have free snacks there, whether you want a muffin, drinks, coffee, different kinds of coffees. They roll stuff out for you there. They want you to be well taken care of. They have spots where you can go in and plug up and use your internet there, work on your computer if you want to stay there, courtesy car to take you home. They have all of this. I learned nothing about what Mercedes offers for that. And so to me, he should have taken a little bit better care of me being a first time Mercedes purchaser. You know, the car will do what it's supposed to do, and, you know, and I'll love it, I'm sure. A long time ago, I just heard the saying that I was told by an insurance agent that a BMW is the car to drive, but the Mercedes is the car to own. That always stayed in the back of my mind. And so I am very excited about my selection. I think I made a great selection. And so hopefully for you guys who guessed Mercedes, you were right. It was a tough selection until these cars started separating themselves, and I had to decide exactly what I wanted and exactly what I didn't want. So hopefully this will be helpful to you. Leave any comments down there. I'll be glad and happy to answer any questions about the Benz, the Lexus, or the Porsche, because I know quite a bit about buying cars these days. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm going to go for a drive. I almost forgot, but the one thing that I did want you guys to comment on, I will get a survey on the salesperson. Let me know if you think I should just let it go or actually let them know of the experience that I felt when I purchased the vehicle. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do.